We're really excited about this. In a few moments, I'll be sharing a little bit of the vision and the mission behind this virtual event, as well as all the preparation that has gone into it. And I'm really excited about that. But first, I want to introduce myself. My name is Liz Lavoie, and I work as the Online Student Experience Coordinator. Very long title. Basically, the whole point of what I do is to make sure that online students feel connected. So making sure that each of you, if you are currently an online student with us, whether through Southern Online or Boyce Online or Hispanic Online, we want to make sure that you're receiving a quality online theological education, as well as a quality experience. So whether you're in a different city, state, country, or even continent, we are so excited to have you here joining us tonight. So I am going to let the different women on our panel tonight introduce themselves. So we're gonna go ahead and start with Esther. If you'd like to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, hey ladies, my name is Esther Gonzalez, and I am currently here in Louisville. I'm working for Highview Baptist Church as the women's ministry leader, and also I'm doing biblical counseling. And yeah, I'm so excited to be here with you guys.
Thank you. Garnetta, if you'd like to introduce yourself as well.
Hi, everyone. My name is Garnetta Smith, and I serve at Southern Seminary as the director of the Center for Student Success. So that's basically student academic services. So academic advising, writing center, anything that can help you succeed in the classroom. In addition to that, I serve as the Women's Support Coordinator. So women on campus, whether you're a staff person or a student, and I would say, even if you have an issue in your location remotely that I can help you with related to any uncomfortable feelings, abuse, anything like that, I'm the person, I'm the bulldog that you come see to help get your issue resolved. And I'm married to Lawrence. We've been married almost 42 years. I know most of you aren't that old yet. We have 2 grown sons and a rambunctious Labradoodle.
I love it. Thank you so much, Garnetta. Robin, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi, ladies. I'm Robin Scott. I am a counselor with the Center for Biblical Living. My husband and I began that ministry 3 years ago, and we provide student care for the students at Southern Seminary, as well as to pastors and missionaries in just biblical counseling roles. And so that's what we do. I'm married to my husband, Tom, that I already mentioned. And we have 3 daughters, 21, 19, and 15. Wow, I almost forgot. Yeah, we've been married 25 years. So. Yeah.
I totally forgot to mention this. I'm married. I've only been married for less than 2 years. His name is Austin, and he's a student at Southern, and I work there full time. And we have been in Kentucky. We moved from California to Kentucky a year ago. And then Esther, you recently got engaged. So I just want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
So I am so excited for each of you students, and for those of you that have joined us tonight and maybe a friend or a family member invited you. We received messages and emails from different students and individuals saying, can I invite my mom? Can I invite my wife? Can I invite so-and-so? And so we're really excited that many of you, whether you're a student or not, you are joining us tonight. And I wanted to make sure that the panel that we invited was also a group of women that is really diverse in all different kinds of backgrounds, different experiences, different roles. And so I'm really excited for each of you to get to hear from them and from how the Lord saved them to where they are now and all the lessons that they learned in between. And so before we jump in with the questions, I just wanted to quickly share a little bit with you all essentially all the prepping and the praying that went into this women's virtual event through online learning, our global campus. Basically, I had reached out to multiple female online students saying, is it possible for us to meet on Zoom? I just want to brainstorm and I want to hear from each of you what is it like being a student? What is it like being a woman in seminary? What is it like being a woman in the specific context that you're in the specific stage of life that you're in? And so I asked different women, some of them moms, some of them wives, some of them single women, some of them in ministry. And so as we weren't necessarily able to sit down in person together, but as we were able to chat and get to know each other a little bit more, I basically asked them, the most important question that I have is, as a female student, what sort of challenges are you experiencing? What sort of challenges are you encountering, whether in seminary or out of seminary? And so I just wanted to list off some of those tonight. And the reason why I'm listing them off is because our prayer has been, Lord, may this women's virtual event really just be a time to equip and encourage women. And I pray that once you leave this Zoom meeting tonight, that you not only make connections with some of the other women here, but that you also leave just refreshed, knowing that wherever the Lord has called you, whatever stage of life you're in right now, whatever local context you're in, that the Lord has called you there, and that he will equip you and he will strengthen you, and that he is your source of strength and of peace and of hope. And so that's what our heart is for tonight. Whatever stage you're in, whatever context you're serving in, that you would know that the Lord has you right there for a plan and for a purpose. And so if some of you are feeling discouraged, overwhelmed, tired, that you would know that the Lord is with you and that he is working in you and through you. And so some of the challenges that these different students had shared with me on this Zoom meeting was lack of opportunity sometimes, or lack of financial resources, wanting to use your gifts, but not knowing how to begin or where to start, wondering if it's worth it to even pursue a degree in seminary and higher education. Some of them shared how to get creative with a small budget if you're on a church staff. Some of them shared certain challenges like wanting to use your gifts, but also struggling with maybe working with men, not having certain connections, maybe struggling because you feel like you're the only woman that you know that's pursuing seminary, which is actually not the case. Many of you are in seminary. And so a few other things that were mentioned were sometimes the difficulty in finding mentors in ministries, finding other female role models that you want to learn from and grow with. And then the last one that was mentioned is, as a single woman, what is it like to do ministry, and struggling with that. And so my prayer again, like I said before, my prayer and my hope is that tonight that you leave feeling equipped and encouraged, and really just, this is just one small reminder that the Lord is with you and he is working in our lives. And so if you had to pick maybe one or two things that you've learned from personal experience, what advice would you give to your younger self when you initially began your work, whether in higher education, in women's ministry, and or counseling? So whether if it's something that you learned the past, 5 years, 10 years, 15 or more, feel free to share maybe one or two things some advice that you wish you could give to your younger self when you first started out. And whoever's ready, whichever panelist wants to go first, you can go.
A little while ago, and I've been thinking over and over and over it. And the thing that keeps coming back to me is trust the Lord. Trust the Lord. I haven't arrived here. I would say I have a long way to go. But the fear of man, definitely when you're speaking into somebody else's life and you're not wanting to get it wrong. And yet I'm not their savior. And I was never called to be that. And I think I've grown in that area. Like I said, I have a long ways to go yet, but just realizing that I can speak into somebody's life because I have the Spirit and I'm a believer. I am able to do that. I may not always get it right, but the Lord knows, and he has a plan for how it's going to work out.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing. If Esther or Garnetta, you'd like to go next.
I think for me, for somebody that's in her 6th decade, or is it 7th? I don't know. I'm 63. I don't know how that works. But, I think it's real easy for our old habits and our old patterns of dealing with things, it's just easy to slide back into those if you're not careful and you're not walking in the Spirit. Scripture says, if you walk in the Spirit, you will not gratify the lust of the flesh. And we sometimes we get it backwards. We think, well, if I'm not walking in the flesh, then I'm walking by the Spirit. It doesn't really work that way. It's kind of backwards. And I think for me, understanding as a younger woman, number one, I didn't become a Christian until I was 33. That's another story. So I had a lot of to do, thinking patterns, behavior patterns, maybe not so many external behavior patterns, but heart behavior patterns. The sin of perfectionism, I got to get it right, or, nobody's going to like me if I get it wrong. And really, most people aren't thinking as much about me as I think about myself. So just to understand some of those patterns of behavior and even how they might even affect me today as an older woman, but just trusting God earlier, like Robin said, trusting God with everything and realizing that, perfection is a lie. None of us are perfect. Only Christ is perfect. And that's needing to reach perfection will hinder you from what God has called you to do because you think you're not good enough. And we're not. None of us are. But just trusting the Lord to help you to see where you need to go next and what you need to do next. So I haven't arrived either yet. And I think I will only arrive once I close my eyes in death or the Lord, comes back. So then I won't be perfect. It'll just be perfected.
So as I was saying, like, I'm 32 years old, so I have a lot to learn still. I have a long way to go. But I think if I had the opportunity, just to like look back into a couple of years, I I wish I wouldn't have worried so much about the future. I remember when I was in seminary and I was just so concerned. I was just so worried to the point that I wasn't really enjoying the present. Like being in seminary is a season, and it's for a season. It's a beautiful season. Sometimes I kind of want to go back. I know that probably whenever you guys are in finals, writing all these papers, reading all this tons of books, you're probably thinking to yourself, when is this going to be over? I can't wait. I said this so many times, right? I just cannot wait to do real ministry and to go out there, not having to deal with finals, exams. Well, sometimes I do feel pretty happy that I don't have to do finals exams, I'm not gonna lie. But you know what I mean? It's like, I'm just done with all these assignments. But you know what? Like that season is beautiful in itself. And it's a season of preparation. I wish I would have just like soaked everything in instead of wanting to live the future, so much, especially because like while I was in seminary, I was able to cultivate so many good relationships, and I wish I would have invested more time in those. All these women around me, all these friends that were also studying in seminary with me, that honestly, like once I graduated, by God's grace, we still have that connection. Guess who, like, I'm asking every time, like, we'll have an event or something like that, I'm asking my friend who studied counseling, I'm asking my friend who I know that is a worship leader, because like the Lord just brought us together. So I wish I would have cherished those relationships more instead of being so concerned and so consumed about what was going to happen with me after graduating. I graduated in 2018, right? So I'm speaking like I've been like so many years. But believe me, like it does makes a huge difference. Like I wish I could have those relationships back. Like my sister is joining us tonight, and honestly, like it's such a blessing just to see how the Lord takes care of each one of us. After each season, taking us where we are supposed to be, and it's not because we have done it. We have no control over our future, but sometimes we believe that lie that we do, and that we have to do something for ourselves. That's not true. Like the Lord really is the one who's in control, and therefore we can trust him and we can enjoy the ride, you know. So like I think that's definitely one of the biggest advices that I can give. And I wish I could have, you know, take that advice myself while I was in there, you know. So yeah, enjoy this season as much as you can. Invest in those relationships because it's worth it. You know, seasons change, and the Lord is good and faithful in each season.